So, tyres. We always complain about them when they don't work very well, but when they do work well, they're very anonymous in Formula 1. Pirelli has been the sole tyre supplier of Formula 1 since 2011, and they've had a mixed time during their 14-year stint so far in Formula 1. But by and large, for most of the last 10 years, in truth, really, I think they've done a really good job personally. The tyres nowadays are very good, and F1's partnership with Pirelli is going to last for a good few years to come yet. So get used to it, guys. I mean, we've had plenty of time to get used to it at the end of the day, but they're going to be around for a while, yeah. But something that's an interesting question is, what happens to the used tyres in Formula 1? Well, there's a handy article here on the F1Chronicle.com that goes into that very question. So let's have a look at this, guys. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. After each Formula 1 race weekend, there are hundreds of used tyres that needs to be disposed of. In the past, these tyres were simply burned or sent to landfills, but in recent years, F1 and tyre supplier Pirelli have implemented a more sustainable approach to tyre disposal. All tyres are now returned to Pirelli at the end of each race weekend to be recycled. The tyres are transported back to Pirelli's facilities either by truck for European races or by sea freight for overseas events. Pirelli then sorts the tyres and begins the recycling process. First, the tyres are shredded into small pieces and separated into their component parts: rubber, steel and textile fibres. The recycled rubber can then be used to create new products such as floor mats, shoe soles and even a new tyre. Some of the new rubber is also burned as a fuel in cement factories as well. The steel and textile components are also recycled and reused in various industries. Interestingly, before the tyres leave the track, Pirelli marks them all with a special barcode to track every single tyre and ensure that none go missing or are replicated by other manufacturers looking to copy their proprietary technology and rubber compounds. In total, Pirelli recycles around 280,000 Formula 1 tyres every year. This process is an important aspect of F1 sustainability efforts and helps to reduce the environmental impact of the sport, which is obviously a massive topic nowadays. Formula 1 wanting to be net zero by 2030. They got 6 years. It's going to be a big old task, but they're still sticking to it apparently. By finding new uses for old tyres, F1 and Pirelli are working to close the loop and create a more circular economy. But how long do the F1 tyres last in a Grand Prix? Well, the longevity of F1 tyres during a Grand Prix depends on several factors, such as the track layout, weather conditions, driving style, and the specific tyre compound being used. In general, a set of tyres can last anywhere between 20 and 40 laps. Obviously, that varies very much in terms of the circuit as well. 40 laps of the Belgian Grand Prix will take you almost to the end of the race. 20 laps around Monaco is just over 1/4 distance. But this can vary significantly depending on the circumstances, such as weather, driving style, everything like I said before. Pirelli, who are the official tyre supplier for F1, provide the teams with 3 days of free dry compound tyres, soft, medium and hard for each race weekend. Now, what the actual compounds are for these does vary. There is the C1s through to 5, but every single weekend you'll see a soft, which is red, a medium, which is yellow, and a white tyre, which is hard. These, of course, being the markings on the tyres, not the tyres themselves. They're all black. They're all the same colour. Don't worry, you've not been missing out on white wall tyres in Formula 1. That'd be cool, though. I suppose these are kind of white wall in a way, but anyway. Softer compounds often generate more grip, but wear out faster, while the harder compounds are more durable, but provide less grip. The teams must use at least 2 different tyre compounds during a dry race, and the choice of which compounds to use and when to use them forms a crucial part of the race strategy. According to Mario Isola, head of F1 and car racing at Pirelli, of course a guy that I've interviewed many times, there's an interview with him on the F1 Chronicle if you want to check it out, of course. He said that the lifespan of a tyre in F1 races can vary a lot depending on the conditions and the strategy. We've seen races where drivers can make a soft tyre last for more than 30 laps, but in other cases they might need to pit after just a few laps. It's all about finding the right balance and managing the tyres effectively over the course of a stint. But what is considered a used tyre in F1? Tyres are one of the few compounds in F1 that is supplied by only one manufacturer. Pirelli is the sole supplier for tyres in F1, and their tyres are used by all the cars competing in all the races in Formula 1. They also supply tyres to Formula 2 and Formula 3, I believe, as well. A tyre is also one of the only components that are subjected to the most wear and tear, as it's constantly in touch with the road surface. Hence, why tyres have to be repeatedly changed. while both racing for every race, and as a result, tens of thousands of tyres are generated as a used tyre during the course of an F1 season. But how do they dispose of the tyres every time? Well, like I said, after every Grand Prix, Pirelli collects all the used tyres and rips them apart. The compounds of the tyres in the F1 series are scrutinised along with the unused but mounted tyres. Valuable data is collected from this study and recorded for future reference. The tyres are then compressed and transported to Pirelli's engineering and logistics facility in Didcot in England. And at the logistics centre, these tyres are thoroughly shredded along with other road car tyres. The shredded tyres form small pellets and they are recycled. Despite the criticism that F1 gets for unfriendly ecological practices, Pirelli has a green technology policy. This commits Pirelli to manufacture as well as dispose of used tyres in an eco-friendly way. And this also encompasses all the eco-friendly disposal of used F1 tyres and tens of thousands of other tyres that Pirelli gathers. The tyres are shredded at Didcot and transported to cement factories. These factories use the pellets as fuel in the cement manufacturing process. But the big question, one last thing for you guys, how much are Formula 1 tyres worth? Well, according to Pirelli, a single Formula 1 tyre costs around €1,800, which is about $1,900 or for us in the UK, well, that's about £1,500–1,600. However, the total cost of tyres for a team over the course of a season is much higher than that. Each team is allocated a total of 20 sets of dry tyres per car per race weekend, with 24 races on the 2024 calendar. This means that a team can use up to 960 tyres per car over the course of a season. Multiplying the number of tyres by the cost per tyre, we can estimate a team spends around €1.7 million, or around 1.8 million USD. Again, in pounds, that's about 1,500 on tyres alone throughout a season. For a two-car team, the total cost of tyres can exceed double that, of course, because that's per car, the first figure. And it's worth noting that these costs are part of the larger budget that the teams must manage under the F1 cost cap as well. As Gunther Steiner, former team principal of Haas F1, stated in an interview, tyres are one of the biggest expenses for an F1 team, and managing their costs and allocation is a crucial part of our strategy. The cost cap has made it even more important to be effective with our tyre usage and make sure that we're getting the most out of every set. So there you go, guys, a bit of a one-stop shop really when it comes to when it comes to tyres in Formula 1, including what happens to the used ones, how much they cost, how they work, why they need so many tyres for that season, the days of tyres being used over multiple race weekends just to save costs. Those are over. The Pirellis do wear out quicker than that, of course, by design. And I think overall, like I said, Pirelli are doing a standout job when it comes to making tyres in F1. They've got it on lockdown, and I can't see a time when they're not going to be the sole tyre supplier in F1. I just don't see it. I just don't see anybody coming in and making a case for tyres that would be better than what Pirelli are doing, because like I said, I think they're doing an excellent job overall. But guys, what do you think? Are you surprised to hear how much tyres cost, how many the F1 teams use for a season, and are you surprised to hear what Pirelli does with the used ones after a race weekend? Your thoughts in the comments below as always, and we'll see you very soon for some more content on the F1Chronicle.com just like this. Have a good one, guys. See you soon.